Okay, I'll give you certain topics now for group discussion. I'll give you the topics, then I'll discuss whatever with online students. If they have doubts, I'll clear it. In that time, you need to brainstorm on the topic and I'll make you into teams. One person from each team should come here and discuss at that topic. That is how it will go. The group discussion, you'll be given 10 minutes time. Clear? How many people are there here? Actually, the strength is 60 or 65. Whoever has not come, just let them know that they have to meet me. They will not be allowed to write any test this week. Oh shit. Bangalore floods. Urban mismanagement or management of nature. Marital rape. National language. "75 years of independence. Did we succeed?" And also, we'll form you into groups based on your optionals. I mean, if you have already formed groups, that is up to you. But based on your optionals, I don't know why it is so funny there. All of you separate. You sit the other side. The guy in the green shirt. You two sit this side. Sit the other side. If you're not interested, you don't have to come to my class also. Go and sit there. See, national language, we can divide this into two groups. Wherein I need one group which should discuss about we need a national language. The other group anti to it. We don't need a national language. So two groups are required. Even for this, 75 years of independence, one group which discusses we were successful. The other group which discusses we were not. I think this one can be taken by one group. Okay, so we need 2, 4, 5 groups here. How many are there? 45. Yeah, let me hold on to this topic. 45. I think we can form 4 groups. 2, 4, 5 groups you need, right? 8 5s are 40, so 8 people in one group. So just count. No, count. Be a bit loud. Yeah. Okay, what you do is this. What this is one group. Okay, 10 people in one group. Count. Okay, till 8, second group. So all of you sit together. The rest of them, please move behind. Yeah. Yeah. This one. Count. Start counting. 8, 9. Swati, sit. Come here. So it is the third group here. Yeah. Start counting. You leave a bench there so that I can see the groups. Yeah. Start counting. 8, 8, 9. Okay, that is one group. You guys shift back one, leave one bench. Yeah. Yeah. Only 4. Yeah. You guys come this side. Yeah. Give a count. 8, 9. So one group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. So you can choose the topic and also give a name to your groups. Fine, we'll take this topic. Bangalore floods, urban mismanagement or management. Yeah. Bangalore floods, urban mismanagement or management of floods. This one, national language. National language, we need a national language. Only one person. The online students can remain. Whatever your doubts are, I'll clarify it. Just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, we'll take this topic. National language. We need a national language. If you're not taking it up, I will only give it. I'll assign it. We need national language. So opposite group. Opposite group. Okay, you people take this topic. We don't need a national language. Fine. Then Bangalore floods. This group, 75 years of independence, we succeeded. This group, we did not succeed. This group. Fine. And give names to your groups. Bangalore floods, give me a name. What? What? Simple ಆಗಿರೋದು ಕೊಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ತಗೊಂಡು ಸೋಲ್ಬೇಡಿ. So that group, national language, no, 75 years of independence. What is the name of the group? What? Not accepted. Quickly. ಅದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಾಪ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದಿಡು. Fine. Quickly. Name. Yeah, there are so good names. You are finding it difficult to give a name. Any other good name? Quickly. Okay, what? Golden era. Yeah. Good. Come out with good names. OL. Yeah. Give some good names, no? Avengers. There are so many names. What? Neta. Ekta. What is your topic? The name of this group, quickly. Panthers. What is your topic? Yeah. Then? Yeah. 75 years of independence. That group, name? Warriors. What is the topic? Your topic and your okay, you will have 10 minutes time. 6:45 is the time, because we have to wind it up quickly. It's already late. 6:45 is the time. You will have only 10 minutes or 7 minutes. I'll tell you stop. You can stop then. We'll start. Yeah, Bangalore floods, urban mismanagement or management of nature. One of you come and speak. ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲ.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm starting. My topic is Bangalore floods, which has been in news, to discuss whether it has been an urban mismanagement or how we have mismanaged the nature, and that's why we have seen the floods. So this is what we are going to. So before that, I'm going to start with a story. So just 20 or 25 years back, when we were kids, we used to go to city outskirts. There we had all these agricultural lands and mango trees and all. And there was a river flowing. And all our grandparents and all were using that river itself for drinking water purposes. But today, if I want to find that river, I don't find that river. I just know that there is something called Kengeri Mori. Ad bitre on Arkavati Nadi ittu anta people will say. And that's the status that we have reached today. And this is not just in Bangalore itself. I think it's same in all the metropolitan cities in India, right? In fact, Bangalore was once known as a land of lakes. But today, the same lakes which have been encroached have been the cause for the floods that we see today, right? The common reasons, like we know of lake encroachment, unplanned development, after the LPG reforms, right? And there was boom in IT sector. We had the SEZ zones in the eastern part of the Bangalore, which resulted in lot of corruption, lot of land conquering by everybody basically, and so that's what has basically resulted in the floods today, because we don't have a proper planning, proper drainage system, and so that's the thing. And we would also see why today we are not able to manage it, even though we knew that such a situation will come. The issue of drainage being absent, it is been there, but why are we not able to tackle it? It's because of the political will, right? We know that Manyata Tech Park, yesterday also it was in news, who the politicians and all have their part in that. So corruption is one aspect of it. The second aspect is lack of political representation itself. First thing, because most of the Bangaloreans are not actually Bangaloreans. We have been coming from somewhere else. We have settled here. We don't, in fact, care about voting or having an elections, and that's why we don't have BBMP elections for past 2 years. I think that's also in news. And so these are the few things which you can see from the administrative perspective, why the floods is actually a man-made one, not a natural disaster like it's put to be seen, right? So what can we do, and how are we as a society responsible for it? First thing, like I said, the political will itself. When there's an active civil society itself, only that's when we'll actually see some changes. We can put some force into the bureaucracy. In fact, Bangalore is known for its good civil activism, good for its waste management systems as well, right? But today we are losing it. And if we are having good practices of waste management, and consumerism is one more aspect, which is again creating a lot of land pressure and demand for, I think that also creates the waste. So these are the solutions we can say. Anything else? The reason for the recent Bangalore floods, is it because of the mismanagement by the administration, or have we failed to manage floods? Have we taken the wrong steps, or is it because of nature itself? Management of nature is nature is not able to manage itself, maybe. Meaning the carrying capacity. So we have blocked all the natural drainage basins, and that's why the water is not able to go in its own flow.
Yeah, that is the second part. Topic. Basically, the first part talks about whether it is a man-made disaster, whether we are not able to manage it properly. Second part tells you that the nature itself has an answer to it. That is the crux of the topic. Next. National anthem. How would it be?
हेलो समस्त को नमस्कार मोर ना सौरभ और मुझे इनके समस्त सर के थैंक यू पाके चाहूँ कि मत ओरिएंटेशन ओह सॉरी द वेरी फैक्ट दैट we are having a discussion on one language and still we need one language for communication of our ideas. The class itself is in English, is a ground reality check of why we need one language, one nation. So we are going to speak on in four of it, that there should be one language, one nation. And the various points that comes out of our discussion is, the first thing is, we'll go to historical backgrounds. So you can see the unification of Germany, for example, or you can cite the example of unification of Germany when they were divided. The sole reason, the oneness of the nation, the feeling of nation and nationalism rose because the integration of people happened. Just all of this happened or came into reality because of just one thing. They had a common language. You can take example of Latin for that. And my friends can argue even that there is disintegration of Sri Lanka as well as disintegration of Bangladesh for the language reasons that we are having. But at the same time, you can also argue that unification of some great nations like Italy and Germany have become a reality because of the language oneness. As well as you can cite here one more example when I'm talking about nations, that Germany is far advanced in science and technology. So they're advanced because of one thing, because whatever ideas they have, whatever values or whatever the new ideas, innovations that they are happening, they're communicating in their language. So people are able to understand each other's language. They're able to rise up over that. Okay, so they are rising even in science factors. Next, I would also like to cite here the examples of our national movements that we have, like the War of Independence of 1857. You can take into example, and many more regional. We had many regional movements, but they did not get a national scale. First of all, because there was no agenda, and everyone was fighting for their own reasons. But the sense of nationalism, a sense of oneness, a sense of a nation was not transferred to people. That was the main reason of our failure of our national movements. Then, so this is the historical aspect of it. Then coming to the administration aspect of it. So the second thing is, if you take into consideration our judiciary, we see that our higher judiciaries are working at a par. The par that I have set is really very good, and that has come because all the transactions mostly that they have is in one language, that is English. So at the same time, people of different regions may have difference between them. They can have different language to talk between them, but the schemes and whatever new schemes that we are underlying, if the administration also follows the rule of judiciary, they will be more efficient way. They will be able to get all the people the benefits of it. The transversing on that paper may be on a different language, but we need one common language where all the schemes are laid out at least. Then we can also cite example of where, so we know India is a region of diversities. We have so many states within us. So always we have some disputes, brotherly but disputes. Now, if we don't have one language for communication, think about a situation when we have major interstate disputes, and one language is claiming that they will talk in their language, and we are telling that we will talk in one language. So it will, and it is also laid in our constitution that in such cases of dispute, the matter should be taken into English, or if both agree, they could talk in Hindi. So this also lays emphasis that why we should have one nation, one language. As well as I can cite examples of our economic drainage that is happening because of we not having one language. So if you see our IT sectors that gives the most of the services is coming from our end. So from the IT sectors, so you can see there that the common source of language there is English. So we are not able to globalize ourselves as a nation. We are not able to put ourselves forward because we are already taking English as a language to communicate between one another, right? And if at the same time we can force like companies, big tech companies, that whenever you're coming to India, you can take Hindi as a language or some other language. I'm not mandatory on it be Hindi, but one language. We can also globalize that this way. Then there is again there is again proliferation of languages that we are talking about. The more languages proliferate, there will be more communalism. There will be more rise of regionalism between us. There will be more fights. Like, for example, the recent demand for the Tulu language has been there. So it has been also said by some political stalwarts, that there will be, even after this has been taken as a language, as an official language under Schedule 8, then there will be also a demand for a new state. So this is again leading to more regionalism between us. And also at the last, I want to say that it has been laid in our ancient scripts and textures that we are Vasudevam Kutumbam, right? So as we are one family, so at least to communicate our feelings, to have that feeling of oneness, to have that nationalism between us, we should have one language over other languages. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to you all. Sorry, good evening. Today we are here in a group discussion, and the topic given to our team is why the national language should not be there in India. So India is a very diverse country. Right from the very beginning, we have seen India was divided into various kingdoms, and from various kingdoms there were different peoples of different society, and these societies were again divided into different set of language, dialects, and according to the latest census report on language, we have approximately 19,000 dialects and approximately 120 language. So just imagine the diversity of a nation, and asking the question of, is one language or one national language enough for this whole country? It's very thought-provoking to just imagine or seeing it as a solution to the whole one thing, one approach solution. As my opponent has spoken about the unification of one language does in the country, but I would like to differ it, because in many circumstances, as we have seen, the language, native language, or we can say the mother tongue, it helps the person in growing in developing his scientific temper. His thought process is naturally developed. She is not subjected to an artificial language which he has to learn from the scratch. But seeing the mother tongue, we all see, or as we have seen, my native is Hindi, so I learn or understand things first in Hindi and then in English. So same applies to whole lot of the other people which we are. The other thing is, basically this language thing is more an emotional issue also, as apart from connecting it also has an emotional connect to the people. As we have seen, it has created many riots over the past 50 to 60 years of our nation building. We have seen the formation of the various political parties here in the South India due to the national language only. And why was it? Because they feel that if an imposition of a national language, they feel the very threat to their existence. And coming to the other parts of it,
For example, my opponent told about the Sri Lanka unification. But I would also say that imposition of a national language created so many differences within the country. We can see the Sinhali community within the nation has biggest clashes with the other community there. And we can see that from the German unification, as my friend told, although it helped in unification, but it also led to the super pride of German that led to the World War. So apart from that, we can see the positives of having a mother tongue. For example, Chinese have their mother tongue as Mandarin, and they basically use it in every sort of thing. And today it is one of the leading economies in the world, and they have their education system right from the schooling towards the working in MNCs and in administrative work is all done in the Mandarin. And yes, the mother tongue helps in gaining the country's economic growth, as well as the people's growth from the social and political perspective. Now, coming towards the conclusion of my topic, as I have illustrated with various examples that how the mother tongue can help in integrating the nation, but at the same time, imposition of a national language can create many differences within a society as well as many riots. That's all from my side. Thank you.
For the next topic, we'll have both the people coming here and discussing. Okay. So before that, see, points are good. In fact, we need a national language is a tougher topic, right? So it's a great effort from him. And see, you could have even given more points, especially for this topic where you don't need a national language. Even EdTech companies, all of them are coming up with regional languages. Many examples are there. State civil services are there. Even 22 languages you can write in UPSC. There's so many examples. Because language, see, at the end of the day, to excel, you don't need a language. Language should not be a barrier to excel. That is what is the funda here. A language is just a communication, it's a means, but the end is something else. So anything that is done should aid that person to excel. It should not become a hurdle. That should have been the thought process. And whenever you are brainstorming, always try to say how you should be brainstorming or discussing is one person should think from the administration angle. So what that person should give you points on polity and administration. The other person should work on the economic angle. So when everybody works on different angles, right, societal angle, all that, you'll get more points. So everybody will be able to participate in the group discussion. Everybody will be able to, think through it. So that is how group discussion should happen. It is nothing but you're dividing it into different parts. It's a team effort. And finally, there'll be one leader who will come and present. And all the three spoke really well. You're good in communication skills. You have that presentation skills, right? All that, the language goes smooth. So that is a very fine character that I could find when you came and spoke on the stage. So the last discussion, we'll have it a little different. As I said, we'll have two people standing here. For every argument, he should give the counter argument. Okay, we'll try out that because I wanted to try that, but it didn't happen. Even with foundation course also, we had this group. Not possible. I thought at least here in the last group, we'll try how it will work out. So based on that, the next discussions we'll have. Clear? Yeah. Which are the two groups? Warriors and patriots. Yeah, it's like, but whenever you are whoever is speaking should have the mic with them. So when you are telling the point, you speak up and then you share the mic with them. 75 years of independence. What is your topic? We didn't succeed. We succeeded. Okay. Warriors. yeah, you can keep discussing about your points, then you can intervene. I think that would be better. Because for every point you're intervening to, it will be something else again. I think it will break the momentum. You keep speaking, wherever you find it's a fault, then you can beat the counter. Let's see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. So, yeah, hopefully. So, yeah, 75 years of independence. Okay. So, my name is Sanjay. I'll be speaking on 75 years of independence. Did we succeed? And yeah, I think we succeeded. To start off, yeah, so when 75 years ago we got our independence, even though it was a celebrity moment for us, but we were left with 250 years of economic exploitation and horrors of partitions. Winston Churchill went on to say that India isn't a geographical term, it's no more a nation than the equator. Our existence wasn't even acknowledged by the people who had ruled us for 250 years. And we have come a full circle now. The very Prime Minister of the said country calls India a partner in its future and development. People expected by 1960s the India to be balkanized into various states based on our diversities. Little did they expect our diversity, various language and culture was what made us stronger. The founders of the nations, the various national freedom movements, they saw the future that they were going to inherit with the various faction and regional secession tendencies of a nation. So our national movement at the very beginning not only was based on decolonization or achieving a freedom, but also on integration and inculcating various Indian this thing. You can see this. The very common example was that Indian national movements, whenever summit was held early, was held in every different part of the country, as trying to inculcate as many geographical regions as possible and leaders from various different part of the country. Coming to the modern days, this thing, the constitutional makers saw this coming and they provided various various provisions to ensure the country stays together. One of the things could be a strong center-state relationship, cooperative federalism, panchayat raj, an independent judiciary, democracy. Despite sustaining 3 wars, emergencies, and various extreme conditions, the power was always shifted from one hand to the other hand without any coup or bloodshed.
Yeah, hi everyone, this is Harit. So my friend had said that we had succeeded in our 75 years and we have developed. My friend had also said that we have came out of the partition pain. But let's think, partition has done, but how is the religious harmony? Are we still fighting or are we friendly with each other? I think we are still fighting. Then I don't find any great reason and we can say that we came out of the partition and religious harmonies and everything. And my friend also said center-state relations are good, panchayat raj departments are good, and we know if we just see the web series Panchayat in Amazon Prime, we can say that how well the panchayats work, how Pati panchayats work, and we don't need any data from the United Nations or government. Just see the Panchayat web series on Amazon Prime. It's enough. Center-state relations. Center-state relation. 1 point. Center-state relations. I don't think it is worse now than anything before, because The way the center is with, where the state and the center has the same government, the fund allocations are good, and more infrastructure development is there. Somewhat the data is better, poverty or any other thing is better. But what about the different states? What about the southern states? How is the budget allocation? Like and anything. So I don't think center-state relations or panchayat raj systems have performed to the expected level. So I'll hand over it to my friend and let's see what results.
To start off, I didn't say that we came out of partition horrors. I said we inherited partition horrors. And as for the harmony between various communities in India, you can compare with the neighbors who got independence at the same time with us. What are the status of the minorities in their countries? Compare that with the minorities in our countries. I mean, we had presidents for minority, people occupying various powers of position. The same can't be said for the countries, our neighbors. So when it goes for the harmony, I think we did pretty good. And wait. And you said center-state relations aren't good. Well, they are far better than any region compared. This seeing what we inherited, and many countries which we were formed on, built on, had a very rough start. Compared to ours, with 75 years, I think we have done a pretty good job. And data. So you mentioned data pretty much to measure growth of a country. Well, I'd like to give a perspective here. So when we inherited the nation 75 years ago, our GDP was approximately below 2, and today we are at 7.4%, one of the largest growing countries. Our life expectancy rate was 32, and now it's around 74. Infant mortality rate was 161.8 to 27. The number of women in parliament is almost double since we got independence to today. Electricity was very hardly any people had electric connection, and today we have achieved 100% of electrification. Human Development Index, which is measured from 0 to 1, ours was 0.11 at the time of independence to 0.64 now.
Well, I also have some data. So before going into the data, I want to say something. So my friend said that comparing with the neighbors. So what are our neighbors? Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal. Are they developed countries? They're still developing countries, right? When we compare ourselves with the developing countries, when will be the country will be a developed country? We will also be in developing countries. For my grandfather said we are developing, my father said we are developing. I am sure if this is the trend, my grandson will also do the same. So I don't think it's a good thing. And my friend said that IMR, it's 27. But yeah, it's definitely an improvement. But if we compare with the European countries, do you think the IMR, how much is IMR? It's just 3.4. Where is 3.4 and where is 27? And parliament, women's representation in the parliament, it's hardly around 10%. 40%. Okay, but it's not so great. And poverty, GDP has increased. We are racing against the time for a 5 trillion economy. It's good, but the GDP just doesn't say the welfare of the people. GDP doesn't say how the people are. The per capita GDP says the things. We may get 5 trillion economy, 10 trillion economy, but no. The wealth is only in the hands of few people. We've tried for the socialist principles and socialist philosophy in our preamble itself. But if we say, like 10% of the people have 22 times more wealth than the bottom 50%. This is a socialist ideology which we have in the preamble. So I don't think just GDP racing against the time, 10 trillion, 20 trillion, it doesn't help. The thing which helps is per capita GDP, how much each person is having. So that's the thing. I'll hand over it to my friend for a few more points.
Well, the reason to compare with Pakistan, Bangladesh and all, it acts as a litmus test to us. because they are the same countries which got independence at the same times with pretty much the same economic conditions. It's not because they are developed or developing. Yeah. As far as you said, the European countries have a infant mortality rate of 3 and we're 27. Well, I would like to ask you the same thing. Where's 161 and where is 27? There's a huge difference between 161 and 27 to 3 and 27. And most of the European countries that you mentioned have failed to have a female prime ministers. India was one of the few countries, even before them, which had a female prime minister in Indira Gandhi. You spoke about GDP and equity. Well, I'd like to agree with you on that. There's no debate about that. We would like to see wealth being distributed more evenly among different populations. So that is something we think we can still work on. 75 is not the end. We still have 100 more years to go, or thousands.
Yeah, my friend, I think you concluded. Did you conclude? Yeah. So yeah, there are few points. We can't say that we are completely not developed or completely developed, or everyone is happy or not happy. But in the 75 years of independence, our Prime Minister said, and many other leaders said, we are celebrating Har Ghar Tiranga. I want to ask, our group's name is Patriots. So Patriots is love for the land. In my opinion, land is not just sand, land is not just trees, land is of people. How are people? So my question is, when will we celebrate Har Ghar Rozgar rather than Har Ghar Tiranga? When will we celebrate Teen Bar Kana rather than just Har Ghar Tiranga? Of course, we have a Dalit president, the previous Dalit president. But do we know that his wife, the first lady of the country, was not even allowed into the Odisha temple? Yeah, this is a fact. So yeah, we can conclude we are still in the process, and there's a lot to go. And we just don't want to be satisfied or content with what the progress we have done. We are patriots. We'll question. We'll fight. So that's the thing.
So like every other nation, we have our own shortcomings, which was very well highlighted by him. And as a nation, we have come a long place, and I think we should move around thinking positively and go ahead optimistically and not be bogged down by problems of today. Problems of today are meant for us to challenge and solve. That is why we are all here. And hopefully we all get there in a position of power to deal with it in a capable way.
Yeah, thank you both of you. He spoke like a politician and he spoke like an administrator. That was the difference. Right. So you have all the traits to become a good politician. And in fact, there are many people. Right, Annamalai is also the recent one. So you can take his path. And it was a good discussion. I think both of you standing here and discussing, I think that made a lot of sense. I hope you got the point of group discussion, the importance of it, right? It's about brainstorming and thinking from every other perspective. Fine, whenever time permits, we'll have one more session like this, again with your performance till date. Obviously, that will be like probably another 1-2 months. I'll look at your performance, again, whatever mistakes if you're committing, we'll have a discussion on that and then followed by group discussion. People have not met me till date. What's your name? Arsha. I think Sanjay also I have not met you. Sanjay, Arsha, Darshan. When these 3 people meet me after the session, and people who spoke today, please come on stage. Yeah, please come on stage. chocolates to be given. Cannot afford chocolates to all of you. Probably when we grow to that stage, I'll do it. So for that, this batch is very important for me. So that is the reason sometimes I might scold you all that, but it is for your good only. At the end of the day, you need to clear the exam, then you do whatever you want to. Nobody will even question you, right? Unless and until you become so corrupt that you come on the news channel. So as I said, no, this is the time you need to enjoy. You see, that's your personal thing that I should not even get involved. But make sure at least when you're studying for those 6 hours or 7 hours, make sure you're... See, there are two things. If you want to be successful in any field for that matter, be it if you want to be a entrepreneur, if you want to be a good civil servant, if you want to be a good child, whatever it is, right? One is always be honest to yourself. Second thing is give your 100% in whatever you do. Whatever it is, you're preparing, you're playing, right? You're talking, whatever it is, give your 100% in whatever you do. And second most important thing is be honest to yourself. Don't fool yourself, right? Later the life will fool you, right? So be honest to yourself and give your 100% in whatever you do. That'll, I mean, you'll reap the benefit. Because from my own experience, I can tell you that. So when you're honest and when you're giving your 100% in whatever you do, right? That'll help you someday, somewhere, in whatever way it is. Clear? Yeah. Yeah. Sanjay, Saurabh, Ashish, Arit, Amit. Yeah, thank you all. All of you spoke well. Especially the tougher topics. Tougher topics is actually difficult to speak. Especially when you say that national language, we need a national language was a tough topic. We didn't succeed was a tough topic. Right? Here, I think you just misread the second part. But apart from that, all the people who spoke here spoke really well. Right? One as a trait of a politician. The rest of them have trait of bureaucrats. Right?